Balak, the king of Moab, hires Bilam, a heathen prophet, to curse the Jewish people. But out of his vile mouth came the most beautiful, the most eloquent of blessings. But the Talmud tells us that though his blessings were so beautiful and so positive, his thoughts were negative. But there's one promise, one prediction, one blessing where you could see that his intention was really negative. On the surface, it's a very positive one. It's a prediction and a prophecy about the Messianic age, the coming of Mashiach. But the way he phrases it is instructive. He says, I see him, but not now. I see him, but not near. Tzemach Tzedek, the third Chabad Rebbe, explains that Bilam, he knew that he can't get rid of the inevitable coming of Mashiach. The world was created with that intention. But he tried to delay it as much as possible. Why did he try to delay it? So one could give two actually opposite explanations. The first explanation is Bilam knew that if the Messianic age would be delayed, the Jewish people almost with certainty would find ways of self-destructive behavior, assimilation. They would be subjected to persecution. They would be subjected to despair. And as a result, there'd be no Jewish people to redeem. So rather than coming out and saying openly that he didn't want Mashiach to come, he said, no, I'm fully in agreement. Mashiach should come. There should be a redemption, but in a way that there would be no one to be redeemed. That's one of the curses of exile. The curses of exile, as one Hasidic master once said, God, if you don't bring Mashiach now, a time will come when they won't want Mashiach. And that's what Bilam was trying to accomplish. But then there's an opposite explanation, that it really was a very powerful blessing. By delaying the coming of Mashiach, there was something positive about it, because it means that the world would become a more purified world, a rarefied world. The Jewish people would be ready for the coming of Mashiach. The delay, although we pray for the Mashiach to come now, there's a benefit in that delay. And that's what Bilam had in mind, or at least that's what came out of his mouth. But if we really think about it, it's no great blessing for it to be delayed. Yes, things would be better in certain ways. We'd be more prepared for it. It'll have something to be internalized within us because we're prepared for it, but we can't wait any longer. Story is told, the Hasidic master known as Rabbi Yisrael of Ruzhin, he once used the following parable. There was a farmer, a Jewish farmer, who lived in a town where there was no synagogue. So he decided one year that he's going to come to the city for Rosh Hashanah and join the Jews in prayer. He comes to shul, and the prayers last for a long time. They come to the climax of the prayer, the Shmona Esrei, the standing prayer, and he sees that everyone is crying. And he's wondering, why are they crying? And he figures that they probably are hungry because the prayers are taking so long. So he started crying as well. But as soon as that prayer was over, no, people stopped crying. He says, why did they stop crying? He said, because they're realizing that the people put the meat in the stew, in the tzimus, and the longer it stews, the more tasty the food becomes. So they're savoring the taste, the increased taste, the enhanced taste caused by the delay. And that's why they stopped crying. So he also stopped crying. Then when it came to the time for the sounding of the shofar, everyone starts crying again. So he's wondering, why are they crying again? And he figured out, yes, it's true, the longer we wait, the more tasty the stew will be. But who has the strength to wait? We are so hungry, we are famished. Yes, it's true that the longer it takes for Mashiach to come, the more prepared we will be, and the glorious future will be greater and more enhanced. But who has the strength? We've gone through enough of exile, enough pain and suffering. We want Mashiach now.